All right, Algebra 1, here we go, guys. We are in section 6 today. This is all about factoring, okay? Factoring is very important. Factoring is something that it goes into that category again of kind of takes it up another level. So I want to make sure that you guys, as I've said so many times, are paying close attention to these notes and you are actually taking notes during these videos. I say it in class, I'll say it in the video. If all you do is just watch the video, for almost all of you, that's not going to be good enough. You have to take notes. And because you have these videos, you can pause them, you can rewind them, you can rewatch them. Take advantage of that. All right, use all of these extra features to help you. All right, enough said. Let's jump into it. So we are factoring trinomials. All right, so 3 terms, trinomial. And you'll notice right here, there's no coefficient. So this is like an intro into factoring trinomials, where we will eventually be factoring trinomials that do have a coefficient right here, but not tonight. Okay, so use this intro wisely. You're going to be given a trinomial, and your answers will be 2 binomials. Remember, a binomial has 2 terms, okay? 2 terms, and those binomials will be in parentheses, okay? This is a little bit of where Mr. A kind of geeks out. That's this little line over here. You have to play the game to understand this. All right, once you get it, it becomes kind of like a little magic trick that it just works perfectly. Okay, but it takes practice and repetition. All right, so look at these terms here. Notice there's no coefficient. The letter B right here, that is a coefficient of x. And the letter C right here, that is a constant. In other words, there's no variable. It's just a number by itself. So anytime I use the phrase like look at C or look at B, that's what I'm talking about. C is the constant. It will always be the 3rd term. B is the coefficient of x. B is always in the 2nd term. And then the x squared for us is the 1st term. Okay, put it all together, 3 terms, trinomial. All right, so let's take a look at the highlighted part here. Start by finding all the factors of C. So in other words, if you have the number 12, factors of 12 would be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Those are all different factors of that number. Then start with those factors that are closest together. So again, if I'm using the example 12, the factors that are closest together for 12 are 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are the closest possible factors. You need a good starting point, or else you're just going to be guessing a lot in this section. So a good logical starting point is always with the closest together factors. Okay, then the factors that work, in other words, how do I know that I have the right answer, will be those that you either add or subtract to equal the B value. That's right there, the B value. Okay, and pay very close attention to the signs. All right, very close attention to the signs. Now, let's go ahead and zoom in here. These are examples that I want you to copy. If I've highlighted an example, I want you to copy the example. So this is something that we will start to work out. Here's the given trinomial, okay? And let's think about factors of 6. All right, factors of 6 could be 1 and 6. They could be 2 and 3. Okay, now what you have to next pay attention to are the signs, plus sign, plus sign. Remember when I said your answer is going to be 2 binomials. There's a binomial. There's a binomial. Now, I know they filled in the answers already, but let's imagine that they didn't. And what we were doing is just putting blank parentheses. Okay? And in these parentheses, we always start by looking at that x squared, which is going to give us an x and another x, because x times x makes x squared. Now, I'm going to give you another chart, but just to jump ahead, these are both plus signs in here because these are both plus signs right here. Again, inside here, both plus signs because these are both plus signs. Now comes the part where we have to figure out, how do we know that 3 and 2 are the correct answers? Here's how. What is 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6. What is 3 plus 2? Because they're both plus signs. 5. That's how we know that it is correct. Again, what is 3 plus 2? 5. What is 3 times 2? 6. All right, so we'll go step by step and walk you through it. Here's another factored out example problem to show you all the other possible factors and why things don't work and why things do work. Here's the original. That's the original trinomial. All the factors of 18 are given to you right here. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 6 and 3. List out all the factors. Then start with the factors that are closest. And if you did that, like I asked you before, you would actually start with 6 and 3. Okay, but let's remember, plus sign means I'm going to add those two numbers together. What is 6 plus 3? It's 9. Notice that's not correct. We want it to be 11. That's why 9 and 2 are the correct answers for this one, because 9 plus 2 is 11, and that is my middle B value, 11. All of these were factors of 18, so we knew that if I multiplied any of these together, I was going to get 18. The next key piece is figuring out when you add them, or as we look ahead and have to do some subtraction, how do we get the middle value? All right. Now, here is a very important chart. I've highlighted all of this info in here because this is what tells you if you are given these in your trinomial, then these are the symbols that will be in your binomial. This is a really important chart because you're going to be given the trinomials. And I want you to pay close attention to these signs right here, because knowing the signs in the trinomial is what tells you what the signs will be in the binomial. All right, so important chart to copy down. And right here is just another example problem just to show you. But this example problem is one where our signs were not both plus and plus. We had a minus and a plus. And if you look at the chart, minus and plus is going to actually give us a negative and a negative, because a positive and a negative make a negative. So double negatives right here. Okay, and take a look, if we jump ahead at our answer, double negatives. All right, these are the factors of 8. How do I make a negative 6 when I know that both of my factors have to be a negative? Negative 4 and negative 2. Negative 4 minus 2 makes a negative 6. Negative 4 times negative 2 does make a positive 8. So you'll see that the signs still work. All right, I think it's time. Let's do some example problems here. All right, here we go. So the step 1 is make your double set of parentheses. Step 1. Step 2, fill in the first blank both with x. Why do you do that? Because this first term is x squared, and it breaks down into x and x. Step 3, look at the signs. Both are plus signs. So that means in my parentheses, both will be plus signs. Now moving into one of the final steps is figure out all the factors of this term C value. Okay, and if we take some time early, you're going to figure it out a little faster later on. All the factors, 1, 10, 2, 5. Which of these factors, when I add them together, makes 7? 2 plus 5. That's the magic right there. 2 and 5 makes the magic work. Okay, that's how we're playing the game. All right, the game is here's a lot of factors, but you need to figure out from these factors which are the two numbers that perfectly will obviously make this when you multiply, but this when you add. And this is it. These are those factors right there. Okay, all right, let's move on. Second example problem. Step 1. Double set of parentheses. Step 2, break down x. Step 3, take a look at the signs. Plus and plus. That means in here is plus and plus. All right, next step, factors of 14. 1, 14, 2, 7. So far, we're just working with some pretty easy factors. When I'm adding together 1 and 14, I don't make 9, but 2 plus 7, this works. That does equal 9, 2 and 7. All right, check it. 2 plus 7 equals 9. 2 times 7 equals 14. That's it. That one works. Okay. All right. Example problem number 3. Step 1, double set of parentheses. Step 2, x and x. Step 3, now the signs are not plus plus, right? Minus, then plus. Minus, then plus. Pay close attention. Will be a minus and another minus. Let's think about this. If I have a negative times a negative, it will equal a positive. If I have a negative and I add it to another negative, it will equal a negative. So the signs are going to work here. Now, factors of 12, 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. Which of these factors, when I'm adding them together, will equal 8? These guys right here, 2 and 6. Let's check that. Negative 2 times negative 6 equals a positive 12. Negative 2 plus a negative 6 equals a negative 8. It all checks out. Positive 12, negative 8, negative 8. So this is my solution right here. Okay, let's just keep doing it. Repetition takes practice. All right, takes work. You guys got to put in the time and the effort. All right, double set of parentheses. X and X. Look at the signs. Minus, then plus means I go minus, then minus. All right, this one's pretty straightforward. 3's prime. So the only thing I could use for 3 is 1 and 3. Boom and boom. There you go. Negative 1 plus negative 3 does make negative 4. That's my middle term. And negative 1 times negative 3 makes a positive 3. Perfect. That one was nice. Straightforward type of problem. All right, let's do another one, but let's notice our signs are changing. Plus, then minus. We haven't done one of these. So double set of parentheses, that's always step one. Plug in x and x. Now, just to reiterate, the reason why we can so easily just put x and x is because this is only an x squared. We don't have a coefficient. When we do eventually, in another section, get a coefficient here, that will change the fact that we can't just put x with x. There's going to be a number with it. All right, we'll wait for that on another day. Now, plus then minus means in here, I will go plus then minus. So pay close attention. Plus then minus means go plus then minus also in the parentheses. But when you have opposite signs in the parentheses, we're then going to be doing subtraction. Okay, so factors of 20, 20 and 1, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Now we're using subtraction. You have to know that. Opposite signs use subtraction. So which of these, when I subtract, will create 1? Right there, 4 and 5. But I need to be really precise here. I want a positive 1. So how do I create a positive 1 with the numbers 4 and 5? I have to have a positive 5 and a negative 4. Positive 5 minus 4 creates a positive 1. That's the proper order. Positive 5 times negative 4 creates negative 20. This is how that works, all right? So again, break it down. 5 minus 4 equals a positive 1. 5 times negative 4 equals a negative 20. All of these work out. 5 minus 4, positive 1. 5 times negative 4, negative 20. That's how that works out. All right, last example problem. Here we go. Parentheses, parentheses, x and x. Pay close attention. Positive, then negative means positive, then negative, meaning subtraction. All right, factors of 16, 1, 16, 2, 8, 4, 4. All right, using subtraction and trying to create a positive 6. Which of these three options, if I subtract, will create a positive 6? 2 and 8. Next step, which number has to be positive? 8 has to be positive to create a positive 6. So put the 8 here, the 2 here. That means 8 minus 2 equals a positive 6. 8 times negative 2 equals a negative 16. All of this, negative 16, 8 minus 2, positive 6. All of that works out. So that, guys, is factoring trinomials. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. Get our page here. Example problems 3 through 6 worked out. And example problems 1 and 2 worked out. Take the time, write down the notes and all example questions and problems. If you have any questions, bring them to class. You must ask those and I'll work them out on the board. I'll see you guys in the next one.